Please continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Favorite miniature man of the carmine contents of his hard chalice. It may seem fast to crush it to dust. Pray forgive me discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks!
Is it cold or is it just me? As your antiquated tone no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during the summation examination. So I honoured her deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom without presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir. Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it.
You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo.
Yes, sir. My lord, sir.
If it transpires that in your previous testimony you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger in your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Your deal.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You'll explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it, but, well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. You fiddled us on the ferry, did, and then I saw that blood curdle inside as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes.
God, I still haven't.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please.
The phantom 5th passenger conjuring to existence from my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage.
Beppo, explain yourself!
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild's fare is 4p across the board, you know that.
Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny fare?
It's so cold, and the last one of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild.
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each. Yes, 20. But I just can't make the result come out differently.
No, that figures.
Still no good at female voices.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Okay. Now back to this. Save and then go. Joking. So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out.
Me and chilblains. Just by listening to you.
It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there'd been a fifth passenger on the omnibus that night. Then we would have had another suspect.
Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Are you sure you will not find Miss Sherman's name inside?
Oh, well, let's see what we find.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? All everyone in this country's well off.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him?
That's what I said, isn't it?
Spoken before us was. For just a brief moment he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a fifth passenger. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars me. I should work out what it was.
Objection!
Nope.
Objection!
Nope.
Hold it!
Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose. I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure of most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Then when I turned around, yes, I saw him through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff.
So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? I'm flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just... No chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar, my lord.
I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw.
Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Okay, so now that new info's come to light.
Objection!
Blood-soaked hands. Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay. That's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-coloured stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ah! In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent.
Yeah! But, no, that can't be right. So you'll lie here then? Ah!
That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie... It calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man. Yes, it wasn't very friendly, it was only wrong. But the fact remains, the victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He is claiming to have no reason to lie. Is that really the case? Just now, hold on. If we had some... Yeah. I'm going to show this man has compelling reason behind his testimony. I have evidence. My lord.
Yes, counsel?
The defence is ready to present evidence.
By Jove, are you sure?
Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate when Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony.
Ah! Very well, I hereby call on the defence to present its evidence.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
Ah, no, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say?
Ah, well, what of it?
Let's suppose Mr. McGilded would be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that a loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced for capital punishment, All outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist?
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claim in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Ugh. Order! 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
Yes, my lord?
Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim?
Pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. McGildy's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
I just realized Bethel's eyes were open.
So you keep saying.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes.
God, I'm giving him the same voice I've given the psycho juror.
Not just one. What?
What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes.
Mr. Nahodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired. If that mattered. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them.
I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream.
Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen.
Well, lo and behold, in truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated.
I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood.
That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it.
That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case.
Very well, your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Then,
Objection!
allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, I love having fucking recycling voices for some of the characters. There's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. Then again, I am kind of new to putting on voices.
What? By golly, really?
Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. At the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims.
After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see from the skylight, is, as I've drawn here.
Ah!
That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and the attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Ah!
Objection!
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth of ambiguity.
I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to the mysterious passenger to which you allude.
Can you, Miss Howard? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the OC, which was outside from the witnesses on the roof deck? I have literally no idea. Was it perhaps of the Japanese Empire? You will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears.
That's got about as much weight to it as the only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
I have an inkling. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned.
Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favour. On that night of murder, the person occupying the scene in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view is...
Take that!
Mr. McGilded!
What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks!
People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own, but I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and the assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. Oh, so all of a sudden his arm can just go... And he can hit bullseye... What, do you think the guy has eyes on the side of his head?
Objection!
But it's not the premise. May be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. And they claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the glory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, the testimony remains unchanged.
I decided to give him the voice I gave the normal judge, to be honest. Adamantly swear. And hopefully, by the time I get into Ace Attorney 2, I've actually got a good voice for Susato. Because right now I'm just using a higher pitch of my normal voice. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify, and the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them. And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit.
Extraordinary! Order! 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 What exactly are you postulating?
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated they saw the accused. When elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said 2 of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yes.
The tops of their heads were obscured by roof. I could see the rest of them now. Yes, that's right. Both gents would most certainly had it. Hatters do tend to notice such things, though. So,
What particular styles of hat did the 2 gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? This style of hat makes no difference. There's no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you're proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he travelled. Ah! He's right. There was another person travelling in the enclosed cabin in the omnibus. It's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. Unless he was in cahoots with them.
Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem.
Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand.
Well, what say you, counsel?
The prosecution objects, my lord.
On what grounds?
As a suspect, he already made a false statement to the police.
But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act.
Counsel for the defence, what is your opinion?
My lord, shall we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGildy to the stand.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGildy has to say.
Get the man out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favourite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, should the defendant to stand at once.
Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGildy, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
To be sure, I have, my lord.
There are no two matters on which the court desires to hear from you.
God, why is it when you're trying to put on an accent you do terrible when you're not, but when you're not trying to put on an accent?
The first is whether or not there was a third party reviewing the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defence. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police?
Begad, no. It is not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you all, or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Miss McGildy. The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger.
It's true.
Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You...
What?
No, Magnus McGildy, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see.
What?
If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this same courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord.
And who was this young child of whom you speak?
That I don't know.
You don't know?
Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
You have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls the witness's statement to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Smoke! Fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! After them! There's no use! I can't see anything through the smoke. What's going on? Careful, Mr. Now, cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
You are hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. But no idea what was happening. All we knew was that for the time being at least, the trial was suspended.
To be continued.
What do I kind of voice already? just happening there? It's never heard of. I managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sato. I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. Holy shit! Just remember they do use that. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The policeman is cancelled. Need a call him? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I think. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGill was just talking about? Why was it exactly? Sorry, he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGill actually? There's so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber downstairs. Who is she, I wonder? What was she even doing here at the trial? She's taking a huge risk and for a possible benefit to herself. There's no matter, that's probably... What's that? 20 pence. Oh, according to the coachman, Miss Becker, he took 4 passengers now. Yeah. But now it seems there were, in fact, 5 passengers. Not unless said 5th passenger was a stowaway. There is a compartment under the chair, remember? She's very nice. Counsel for the defense, please kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We're going straight away. There's a young girl next to Mr. McGill. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before.
Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks.
My lord.
I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which failed proceedings earlier.
Seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious! The army? What in devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to claim her escape from the public gallery. But she was caught, and now occupies a stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behaviour?
If I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded?
I think perhaps I ought to explain her. Why it is that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. It is all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case.
Just what did happen that night. It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from. And bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct?
It is exactly as the defence counsel said. This lass was the 5th passenger, my lord.
Very well, the defence may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself. Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, it hurt. Still and all, I pulled her out from under the net. I sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin whack with her. The seat opposite. That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
You said this young girl next to a corpse, sir?
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down with a skylight, you must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilden. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl.
After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realised something was wrong and pulled up the horses.
Ow.
We arrived in London this morning. You see my day pan out like this. There's no though, no grumbling, even you.
Ah!
How did you know? Evidence.
Objection!
Nope.
Hold it!
And when you first got into the omnibus, were there any other passengers on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one else on the roof deck either.
You're the first passenger, as it were, I see.
Aye, and that's why I took the back seat as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable sort is. I have to agree. When I was in college, I always took the back seat in the bus. Could you explain exactly what you meant by the back seat? By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like we said, it is most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say, and a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage, but they fell on the floor. You didn't see anyone. At the same moment, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, no, my lord. It was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes.
Hold it!
You saw him up, the victim? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? It is common courtesy, so it is. I find that little hard to believe. Ah, Lorden von Zeeks. Now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet on the couch. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself into a tangle of trouble. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes, the scream you said you heard at the same time as the third of the victim collapsing. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
Good gracious!
Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage. And that's where I found her.
Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are as clear as my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl?
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns a crust among large crowds, believing people to their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket.
What? This girl here, a petty thief? Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you'll answer the question. Ah! How dare you? What is the meaning of this? Ah! The girl, she's gone!
Open your eyes. I'm over here.
Good gracious, how?
What's behind that little step? I know what you lot thinking. Grown-ups all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got... God! This dirty little dipper you'll say slipped up and...
God!
She got herself back into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Hello, Gav. I'm trying to find out to phrase on a woman's voice. Go on, that's what's in your head, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. Look, knives are for cowards. Oh God, my voice is I can't maintain it. I'm professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. My voice is constantly changing! For the time being, I'm not giving her a voice. I'm professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs.